All right, hi there, everyone. Welcome to Classic TV Trivia with me, Jennifer, and my coworker Jeanette from Beacon Community Library. Thank you for coming. So we're just going to go over a couple of rules that we're all familiar with. Um, just a couple of rules of the game. So please, no yelling out answers. It's brain power only. Um, it's an honor system for points. We're not gonna check what you got. We're gonna take you for your word. That being said, it'd be a great time for you to grab a pen, some paper, because you're keeping track of your own score. So we're gonna display the questions and the answers on the screen, but you're gonna keep track yourself. That being said, spelling and pronunciation does not matter. It does not matter for you, and it certainly does not matter for us. We may practice these words, but when in the moment, it just comes out the way it comes out. And please, as always, have fun. This is meant to be a fun game. No high stakes, I promise. Um, so with that in mind, there are like little prizes. And to be eligible for a prize, we really would love it if you can use the link on the screen here to submit your contact info at the end of the game with your score. That way we can put you in the running for a prize. Um, this link will be at the end of the game as well. I'll put it in the chat. I'll make sure you have it. It's just a really easy way for us to keep track of what's going on here. That being said, if it doesn't work, we'll address that too at the end of the game. So yeah. So if we're all good and we don't have any questions, we'll get started. And if people kind of mosey in at the last minute, we'll let them in. Otherwise, we are going to get started right now.
And just to add to Jen's spiel, if you have more than one person at on your team at your house, in the link, it will ask you how many people were on your team, and that's for our stats too. So thanks so much, and we'll get started. And
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get started, and Jeanette's gonna take it away.
okay, Channel 1, the 1960s. Let's go. Question 1 for 6 points. What were the character names of the 6 children on the Brady Bunch? That's question 1, 6 points. What were the characters' names of the 6 children on the Brady Bunch? So if you just know 4 of them, you'll get 4 points. We don't make you get all 6. So as many right answers as you have is how many points you would get. Question 2 for 1 point. On the Munsters, what is the name of Eddie's pet dragon that lives under the stairs? And that's question 2 for 1 point. On the Munsters, what is the name of Eddie's pet dragon that lives under the stairs? Okay, question 3 for 1 point. What was Barney's last name on the Andy Griffith Show? Question 3 for 1 point. What was Barney's last name on the Andy Griffith Show? Okay. Question 4 for 1 point. What well-known disc jockey, radio personality, voice actor, and actor provided the voice for Shaggy on Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Question 4 for 1 point. What well-known disc jockey, radio personality, voice actor, and actor provided the voice for Shaggy on Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Okay. Question 5 for 1 point. On Hawaii Five-O, what does the 5-0 refer to? Again, question 5 for 1 point. On Hawaii Five-O, what does the 5-0 refer to? Okay. Question 6 for 1 point. Who lived at 0001 Cemetery Lane? Whoops. Question 6 for 1 point. Who lived at 0001 Cemetery Lane? Hi, Diana. So we're on question 6. So you can I'm going to jump in for right there. Okay, and this is the 1960s TV is the category. Question 7 for 1 point. What was the name of the police detective who chased Dr. Richard Kimball on The Fugitive? Question 7 for 1 point. What was the name of the police detective who chased Dr. Richard Kimball on The Fugitive? Okay, ready for question 8? Also for 1 point. Who lived on 1313 Mockingbird Lane? Question 8 for 1 point. Who lived on 1313 Mockingbird Lane? Question 9 for 1 point. On the Dick Van Dyke Show, Rob, Sally, and Buddy were writers for what variety TV show? Question 9 for 1 point. On the Dick Van Dyke Show, Rob, Sally, and Buddy were writers for what variety TV show? Okay, question 10 for 1 point. What was the name of the mansion where most of Dark Shadows took place? Question 10 for 1 point. What was the name of the mansion where most of Dark Shadows took place? Okay, next question. What did the Beverly Hillbillies call their swimming pool? Question 11 for 1 point. What did the Beverly Hillbillies call their swimming pool? Okay, question 12 for 1 point. What was the name of the boat that brought the castaways to Gilligan's Island? Question 12, 1 point. What was the name of the boat that brought the castaways to Gilligan's Island? Was there just 12, Jen? Yep. Okay, is everyone ready to see those answers? So the total points for this category is 17. Okay, question 1. Marcia, Jan, Cindy, Greg, Peter, and Bobby. They were the 6 children on the Brady Bunch. Okay, question 2. Spot was the name of Eddie's pet dragon on the Munsters that lived under the stairs. Spot. Okay, question 3. Barney's last name was Fife on the Andy Griffith Show. So Barney Fife. Okay, question 4, or answer 4. Casey Kasem was the well-known disc jockey and radio personality and voice actor that voiced Shaggy on Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Casey Kasem. Question 5. Hawaii being the 50th state is why it's Hawaii 50, and that's what the 50 refers to. Hawaii was the 50th state, or is the 50th. Question 6. The Addams family lived at 0001 Cemetery Lane. The Addams Family, for 1 point. Question 7. Lieutenant Philip Gerard was the name of the police detective who chased Richard Kimball through several episodes of The Fugitive. So, Lieutenant Philip Gerard, or if you just put Lieutenant Gerard or Philip Gerard, that's still the correct answer. Okay, question 8. The Munsters were the ones that lived on 1313 Mockingbird Lane. The Munsters, for 1 point. Okay, question 9. The Alan Brady Show was the variety TV show that Dick Van Dyke, Rob, Sally, and Buddy were writers for. The Alan Brady Show, for 1 point. Question 10. Collinwood was the name of the mansion where most of Dark Shadows took place. Collinwood was the name of the house, for 1 point. Okay, question 11. The Cement Pond was the name of the swimming pool at the Beverly Hills Mansion. The Cement Pond, or Cement Pond, they used to call it, for 1 point. Okay, question 12. The name of the boat that brought the castaways to Gilligan's Island was the SS Minnow. You can, or if you just have the Minnow, that would be correct too. So for 1 point, it was the SS Minnow. A 3-hour tour.
That's how long is it?
Okay, turning it over to Jen now.
Great. So we're switching channels and we're going to go to the 1970s now. Let's get started. So question 1 for 1 point. What series had a character with the full name of, oh gosh, here we go. Juan V. Pedro Felipe de Heveos Epstein. I'm not saying that again. Question 1 for 1 point. What series had the following character with this full name that I will not be repeating?
Juan Epstein.
I know. God. No, I didn't age well. All right. With that in mind, we're going to move on to question 2. Question 2 for 1 point. Who played Detective Bill Fish on Barney Miller? Question 2 for 1 point. Who played Detective Bill Fish on Barney Miller? All right, sounds good. We're going to move on to question 3. Question 3, this time for 2 points. See if you can get both or just one. What were the names of the two main families on Dallas? Question 3 for 2 points. What were the names of the two main families on Dallas? Okay, see if you can get one or both. Moving on to question 4. Question 4 for 1 point. On the show Chico and the Man, Freddie Prinze played Chico. Who played the man? Question 4 for 1 point. On the show Chico and the Man, Freddie Prinze played Chico. Who played the man? Very lovely. Moving on to question 5. Question 5 for 2 points. What were the full names of the title characters on Laverne and Shirley? Question 5 for 2 points. Let's see if you can get both of their names. What were the full names of the title characters on Laverne and Shirley? So full names, first and last for both, if you can get it. Lovely. Moving on to question 6. Question 6 for 1 point. What was the name of Fred's beloved dead wife on Sanford and Son? Question 6 for 1 point. What was the name of Fred's beloved dead wife on Sanford and Son? Lovely. Moving on. Question 7. Question 7 for 1 point. What sitcom was a spin-off from Soap? Question 7 for 1 point. What sitcom was a spin-off from Soap? Okay, lovely. Moving on to question 8. Question 8 for up to 3 points. What were the first names of the three buddies growing up in Los Angeles on What's Happening? Question 8 for up to 3 points. What were the names of the three buddies growing up in Los Angeles on What's Happening? All right, lovely. Moving on to question 9. Question 9 for 1 point. What was Archie Bunker's nickname for his son-in-law? Question 9 for 1 point. What was Archie Bunker's nickname for his son-in-law? All right, moving on to question 10. Question 10 for 1 point. What was the MASH unit number? Question 10 for 1 point. What was the MASH unit number? All right. All right, almost there. Going on to question 11. Question 11 for 1 point. What was Oscar's occupation on The Odd Couple? Question 11 for 1 point. What was Oscar's occupation on The Odd Couple? All right, going on to our last question for this round. Question 12 for 1 point. On the Mary Tyler Moore show, what show did Sue Ann Nevins host? On the Mary Tyler Moore show, what show did Sue Ann Nevins host? For 1 point. All right, lovely. All right, so that finishes off the 1970s. Let's see those answers. The maximum points that you can get for this section is 16. Let's see how we did. All right, question 1. So that very long full name for that character was Welcome Back Kotter, 1975 to 1979. Never heard of it. I'm sorry. Sorry. All right. So question 1 for 1 point was Welcome Back Kotter. All right. Moving on to question 2. Question 2 for 1 point. A. Pagoda played Detective Phil Fish on Barney Miller. A lot of names there. For 1 point, question 2 was A. Pagoda, who played Detective Phil Fish on Barney Miller. All right, lovely. Going on to question 3. Question 3. So this was for 2 points, if you can get both. The names of the two main families on Dallas was Ewing and Barnes, or Ewing and Barnes. For two main families on Dallas, for up to 2 points, if you can get both. All right, looking good. Let's go on to question 4. Question 4 for 1 point. If Freddie Prinze played Chico, Jack Albertson played the man on the show Chico and the Man. So question 4 for 1 point is Jack Albertson. All right. Going on to question 5. All right, question 5, this time for 2 points. The full names of the title characters on Laverne and Shirley. We have Laverne DeFazio and Shirley Feeney. So question 5 was for 2 points, if you can get both. Laverne DeFazio and Shirley Feeney. Laverne and Shirley. Okay, moving on to question 6. Question 6 for 1 point. So Fred's beloved dead wife on Sanford and Son, her name was Elizabeth. So question 6 for 1 point was Elizabeth. Okay, lovely. Going on to question 7. Question 7 for 1 point. The sitcom that was a spinoff from Soap was Benson. Ran from 1979 to 1986. Question 7 for 1 point was Benson. All right, moving on to question 8. Question 8, you could get up to 3 points here. So the names for the three buddies growing up in Los Angeles on What's Happening, they were Roger, Rerun, and Dwayne. Question 8 for up to 3 points was Roger, Rerun, and Dwayne. All right, moving on to question 9. Question 9 for 1 point was Meathead. That was Archie Bunker's nickname for his son-in-law. Question 9 for 1 point was Meathead. All right, moving on to question 10. Question 10 for 1 point was, did they abbreviate? 4077?
4077.
4077 is what they called it. That was MASH's unit number, 4077, for question 10 for 1 point. I'm sorry.
You do know what MASH was, right?
I knew what it was, but have I seen an episode? No. I'm sorry. Oh God. Catch me later with the later TV shows here. Going on to question 11 for 1 point. Oscar's occupation in The Odd Couple was a sports writer. Question 11 for 1 point was sports writer. All right, question 12, last one for this section for 1 point, is the Happy Homemaker. On the Mary Tyler Moore Show, Sue Ann Nevins hosted the Happy Homemaker. All right, great. So I'm going to turn it back over to Jeanette.
Okay, so our next category, Channel 3, is the 1980s. And here we go. Question 1 for 2 points. What were the last names of the two central detectives on Miami Vice? So that's question 1 for 2 points. Up to 2 points. If you just get one, you'll get 1 point. What were the last names of the two central detectives on Miami Vice? Okay, ready for question 2 for 1 point. Who played the title role on Webster? So that's question 2 for 1 point. Who played the title role on Webster? Okay, ready for question 3 for 1 point. What sitcom character liked to eat cats? Question 3 for 1 point. What sitcom character liked to eat cats? Question 4 for 1 point. What was Betty White's character name on the Golden Girls? Question 4, 1 point. What was Betty White's character name on the Golden Girls? Question 5 for 1 point. What was the name of the children's reading series hosted by LeVar Burton? Question 5 for 1 point. What was the name of the children's reading series hosted by LeVar Burton? Okay. Question 6 for 2 points. What were the first names of the title characters on Cagney and Lacey? Question 6, 2 points. What were the first names of the title characters on Cagney and Lacey? Question 7 for 1 point. What series starred Bruce Willis in a detective agency? Question 7, 1 point. What series starred Bruce Willis in a detective agency? Question 8 for 1 point. Who played the title role on Punky Brewster? So question 8 for 1 point. Who played the title role on Punky Brewster? Question 9 for 1 point. What was the Orkin greeting phrase? Question 9 for 1 point. What was the Orkin greeting phrase? Spelling will not count. Question 10 for 1 point. Before getting their own show, the Simpsons were featured on what variety show? Question 10 for 1 point. Before getting their own show, the Simpsons were featured on what variety show? Question 11 for 1 point. What was the name of the never seen wife of Norm in Cheers? Question 11 for 1 point. What was the name of the never seen wife, Norm's wife in Cheers? And the final question for this category, question 12 for 1 point. On Three's Company, where did Jack live before moving in with Chrissy and Janet? Question 12 for 1 point. On Three's Company, where did Jack live before moving in with Chrissy and Janet? Okay, ready for the answers? So the total points for this category is 14. So let's see how you did. Question 1, Crockett and Tubbs were the last names of the two central detectives on Miami Vice. Crockett and Tubbs. That was for 2 points, right?
Yes, sorry.
Question 2, I think I said 1 point. Question 2 for 1 point. Emmanuel Lewis played the title role on Webster. Emmanuel Lewis. Okay. Question 3. Elf was the sitcom character that liked to eat cats. Question 3 for 1 point. Elf. I have no idea how long that show lasted. Okay. Question 4. Rose Nyland was Betty White's character on The Golden Girls. Question 4 for 1 point. Rose Nyland. Question 5. Reading Rainbow was the name of the children's reading series hosted by LeVar Burton. I loved that show.
I know this. I remember this one. Yeah.
Question 5 for 1 point. Reading
Sorry.
Rainbow. Question 6 for 2 points if you get them both. Christine Cagney and Mary Beth Lacey were the first names of the title characters on Cagney and Lacey. Christine and Mary Beth. Okay. Question 7. Moonlighting, that aired from 1985 to 1989, was the series that starred Bruce Willis in a detective agency. Moonlighting for 1 point. Okay. Question 8. So, Lil
Elio?
Moonfry played the title role on Punky Brewster. I am terrible with pronunciation. Soleil Moon Frye played the title role on Punky Brewster. Okay, question 9. Nanu Nanu was the Orkin greeting phrase. Question 9 for 1 point. Nanu Nanu. Okay, question 10. The Tracy Ullman Show would air shorts of The Simpsons on her variety show before they got their own show. So question 10 for 1 point. The Tracy Ullman Show.
I never knew there was this many variety shows.
Question 11. Vera was the name of Norm's never-seen wife in Cheers. For 1 point, question 11, Vera. And our last question in this category, Jack lived at the YMCA on Three's Company before he moved in with Chrissy and Janet. So question 12 for 1 point, the YMCA. Okay.
All right, back over to me. We're changing channels, and we're going to go to the 1990s. We're getting more unfamiliar ground for me. So that's good. All right, let's see what we got. So question one for 1 point. What drama was based on five siblings who are left to find their own way after their parents are killed by a drunk driver? So question one for 1 point. What drama was based on five siblings who are left to find their own way after their parents are killed by a drunk driver? What was the title of the series? All right, moving on to question two. Question two for 1 point. Who was the only actor on NYPD Blue to stay with the series? Question two for 1 point. Who was the only actor on NYPD Blue to stay with the series, the old school series? All right, lovely. Moving on to question three. Question three for 1 point. I do know this question. Uh, sorry, I get excited when I actually know one. Question three for 1 point. On The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where was Will Smith's character from before moving to Bel-Air? Question three for 1 point. On The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where was Will Smith's character from before moving to Bel-Air? And the song is running through my head. All right, moving on to question four. Question four for 1 point. I didn't know this. This was actually good. Great to know. What famous author created the series ER? And it was created by a famous author. Question four for 1 point. What famous author created the series ER? All right, moving on to question five. Question five for 1 point. What is Marcica's Hargitay's character's name on Law and Order Special Victims Unit? Question five for 1 point. What is the actor Marcica Hargitay's character's name on Law and Order Special Victims Unit? Sorry if I mispronounced that. Sorry, Marcica. All right, moving on to question six. Question six for 1 point. Another variety show. Question six for 1 point. What series featured Kermit the Frog running a variety show? Question six for 1 point. What series featured Kermit the Frog running a variety show? Lovely. Going on to question seven. Question seven for 1 point. I know this one. What town? Sorry. What town was Buffy the Vampire Slayer set in? Question seven for 1 point. What town was Buffy the Vampire Slayer set in?
I don't know the answer to that.
Really? Oh, okay. You got me with the older ones. It's fine. All right. Moving on to question eight. Question eight for 1 point. All right. Here we go. What animated series opening credits includes a spoof of the All in the Family opening with Edith playing the piano and singing with Archie? So question eight, 1 point. What animated series, so it's animated, the opening credits when it starts, it includes a spoof of the All in the Family opening with Edith playing the piano, so a woman playing the piano and singing with a guy, Archie. So it's a little complicated, but if you've seen the show, you'll get it at that point. All right, moving on to question nine. Question nine for 1 point. What comedy series featured Jim Carrey, Jamie Foxx, and Jennifer Lopez? Question nine for 1 point. What comedy series had Jim Carrey, Jamie Foxx, and Jennifer Lopez. All right, going on to question 10. Question 10 for 1 point. What children's animated series featured Tommy Pickles, Chucky Finster, and Phil and Lil DeVille as four babies? Question 10 for 1 point. What children's animated series featured Tommy Pickles, Chucky Finster, and Phil and Lil DeVille as four babies? Talk about the last one that passed. Question 11 for 1 point. Who played Don Johnson's partner on the police series Nash Bridges? Question 11 for 1 point. Who played Don Johnson's partner on the police series Nash Bridges? All right, and going on to question 12, the last one for this section. Question 12 for 1 point. How was the show Seinfeld often described? Question 12 for 1 point. How was the show Seinfeld often described? It was a show about what? All right, let's see how we did. Total points for this section is 12. Each one was only 1 point. Let's see how we did. All right, question 1 for 1 point was Party of Five. This was a drama based on five siblings who are left to find their own way after their parents are killed by a drunk driver. Question 1 for 1 point is Party of Five. All right, going on to question 2. Question 2 for 1 point. Dennis Franz was the only actor on NYPD Blue to stay with the series. Question 2, Dennis Franz. All right, going on to question 3. Question 3 for 1 point. On The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith's character was from Philadelphia, born and raised before moving to Bel-Air. All right, moving on to question 4. Question 4 for 1 point. I did not know this. We always learn something new with these things. Michael Crichton, the author of Jurassic Park, he was a creator of ER, one of the creators. So, Michael Crichton. Moving on to question 5. Question 5 for 1 point. Olivia Benson was the character name of Mariska on Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Olivia Benson. Moving on to question 6. Question 6 for 1 point. Muppets. Muppets Tonight was a series that featured Kermit the Frog running a variety show. It ain't easy being green. Hopefully, going on to question 7. Question 7 for 1 point. The town that Buffy the Vampire Slayer was set in was Sunnydale. Question 7 for 1 point was Sunnydale. All right. Going on to question 8. Question 8 for 1 point was Family Guy. So Family Guy, the animated series, the opening credits includes a spoof of All in the Family, with Edith playing the piano and singing with Archie. So instead, you have Lois playing the piano and singing with Peter. Family Guy. Going on to question 9. For 1 point was In Living Color was the comedy series that had Jim Carrey, Jamie Foxx, and Jennifer Lopez. So question 9 for 1 point was In Living Color. All right, going on to question 10. Question 10 for 1 point was Rugrats. I did not know it ran for like 16 years, 1990 to 2006. Oh my God. This was the children's animated series that featured the babies, Tommy Pickles, Chucky Finster, and Phil and Lil DeVille. So question 10 for 1 point was Rugrats. Going on to question 11, Cheech Marin, for 1 point, he played Don Johnson's partner on the police series Nash Bridges. So question 11 for 1 point is Cheech Marin. Lovely. And last one for this section, question 12, show about nothing, of course. So Seinfeld was often described as the show about nothing. for 1 point. All right, so that wraps up the 90s. So I'm going to pass it back to Jeanette.
Okay, so we turned the channel to channel 4, and we grouped a lot of things in this channel. It's the 2000s. So here we go. Question 1 for 1 point. What was the name of Jane Lynch's cheerleading coach character? Question 1 for 1 point. What was the name of Jane Lynch's character? Um, and she was the cheerleading coach on that show. Okay, moving on to question 2 for 1 point. Who is the only main actor on The Big Bang Theory who has a PhD in real life? So question 2 for 1 point. Who is the only main actor on The Big Bang Theory who has a PhD in real life? Question 3 for 1 point. What sitcom centered on a young OB/GYN doctor trying to balance her personal and professional life? Question 3 for 1 point. What sitcom centered on a young OB/GYN doctor trying to balance her personal and professional life? Question 4 for 1 point. On Game of Thrones, what is the name of the brotherhood that defends the realm against the creatures north of the wall? Question 4 for 1 point. On Game of Thrones, what is the name of the brotherhood that defends the realm against the creatures north of the wall? Okay. Question 5 for 1 point. What was the name of the chicken restaurant chain owned by Gustavo on Breaking Bad? Question 5 for 1 point. What was the name of the chicken restaurant chain owned by Gustavo on Breaking Bad? Question 6 for 1 point. Who starred as firefighter Tommy Gavin, who deals with the fears of his job and his personal problems in the comedy drama Rescue Me? Question 6 for 1 point. Who starred as firefighter Tommy Gavin, who deals with the fears of his job and his personal problems in the comedy drama Rescue Me? Question 7 for 1 point. Will Schuester, the Glee Club director on Glee, teaches what subject? Question 7. Will Schuester, the Glee Club director on Glee, teaches what subject? And that's for 1 point. Question 8 for 1 point. Who starred as housewife and mother Alison Dubois, who uses her psychic visions to work as a consultant for the district attorney's office on Medium? Question 8 for 1 point. Who starred as a housewife and mother Alison Dubois, who uses her psychic visions to work as a consultant for the district attorney's office on Medium? Okay. Ready for question 9 for 1 point? In the office, Dwight owns and runs a farm in his spare time. What does his farm primarily produce? So that's question 9 for 1 point. In the office, Dwight owns and runs a farm in his spare time. What does this farm primarily produce? Okay, ready for question 10 for 1 point. In the 2005 version of the television series Kojak, what actor played the role of New York Police Lieutenant Theo Kojak? So in the new version, question 10, 1 point. In the 2005 version of the television series Kojak, what actor played the role of New York Police Lieutenant Theo Kojak? Okay, question 11 for 1 point. Name the single mom raising her daughter in the fictional town of Stars Hollow. Question 11 for 1 point. Name the single mom raising her daughter in the fictional town of Stars Hollow, which is kind of set in New England and maybe even Connecticut. Okay.
I saw every single episode of this.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Ruth watched it like 6 times.
Oh my God.
Um, okay, going on to question 12 for 1 point. What does the host of Survivor say after putting out your torch? Question 12 for 1 point. What does the host of Survivor say after putting out your torch? Okay, are you ready to check your answers? So, again, there's only 1 point for each of the questions, and let's see those answers for a total of 12 points if you get them all right. Question 1. Sue Sylvester was the name of Jane Lynch's cheerleading coach character. Sue Sylvester for 1 point. Question 2. Mayim Bialik, I can never say her name, has a PhD in neuroscience, and that's the only actor on The Big Bang Theory who has a PhD in real life. Mayim, whatever, the lady that was on Jeopardy has a PhD for 1 point. Okay, question 3. The Mindy Project was the name of the sitcom centered on a young OB/GYN doctor trying to balance her personal and professional life. The Mindy Project for 1 point. Question 4. The Night's Watch is the brotherhood that defends the realm against the creatures north of the wall in Game of Thrones. Question 4, 1 point, Night's Watch. Question 5. Los Polos Hermanos is the name of the chicken restaurant chain owned by Gustavo on Breaking Bad. Los Polos Hermanos for 1 point. And I never took Spanish, I took French, so excuse my diction. Question 6. For 1 point, Dennis Leary was the firefighter Tommy Gavin who deals with the fears of his job and his personal problems on Rescue Me. Dennis Leary. Question 7. Spanish. Will Huster, the Glee Club director, teaches Spanish. Question 8. For 1 point, Patricia Arquette was the housewife and mother who was also a medium. Alison DeBlois. Question 8, 1 point, Patricia Arquette. Question 9. Beets. White owns and runs a beet farm in his spare time. Beets for 1 point. Question 10. Ving Rhames is the person who played the Kojak in the 2005 version of the series. Ving Rhames. Okay, question 11. Lorelai Gilmore is the single mom who's raising her daughter in the fictional town of Stars Hollow. Question 11, 1 point, Lorelai Gilmore on the Gilmore Girls. Question 12. The tribe has spoken is what The host of Survivor says after putting out your torch. The tribe has spoken when you get kicked.
You're out of there.
Yeah, get kicked off. Okay. So those are the total points that you can get. It's a maximum of 71 points if you got every single answer right. So for to be eligible for a prize, you need to submit your info with the link below. The link is in the chat also. And please answer the question, the other information that we'd like that helps us with our statistics. Um,
If if for whatever reason the link's not working or it's just not gonna happen, you could put your information in the chat, preferably directly to me and not to everybody. So if you can send a message just to me, Jennifer or to Jeanette, with your name, how many points, and then like an email or something so that we could contact you just in case we had to, if you want a prize. But we really would love it if you can use the link. But we understand if something goes wrong if you can't. But if that's the case, please consider just sending your information just to one of us, Jeanette or me, Jennifer. So while you do that, we are also going to do a bonus round. What comes next in the bonus round, there are no points. It's just for fun. So if you want to stay on or while you figure yourself out, so we're going to continue on with that. All
so we
right.
hope you stay. And
Yeah.
Jen, is it your turn?
Yes. Back to me. So we're gonna do one more episode. We're gonna keep binging. We're gonna do a bonus round now. All right. So question one, again, not for points. Um, what was Radar's favorite soft drink? So question one, what was Radar's favorite soft drink? There's a lot of information here. Who's Radar? All right, going on to question two. Question two. What was the name of the cab company on Taxi? Question two. What was the name of the cab company on Taxi? Great, good, great, grand. We're going to move on to question three. Question three. Name the newspaper company or newspaper where Clark Kent worked and where it was located. What city? So question three, try to name the newspaper where Clark Kent worked as a reporter and where it was located. What city? The new Superman movie's coming out, so you might want to get this. All right, moving on to question four. Question four, name the two actors who played Samantha's husband in Bewitched when they had to switch actors. So question four, try to name the two actors who played Samantha's husband in Bewitched. All right, moving on to question five. Question five. What is the name of the real Boston bar that Cheers was based on? Question five. What is the name of the real Boston bar that Cheers was based on? All right, going on to question six. Question six. On Green Acres, what did Oliver do when he had to make a phone call? Question six. On Green Acres, what did Oliver have to do when he had to make a phone call? All right, going on to question seven. On I Dream of Jeannie, where did Tony and Roger work? Question seven. On I Dream of Jeannie, where did Tony and Roger work? All right, moving on to question eight. Question eight. What does Michael pretend to fire Pam over in season one of The Office? Going all the way back. So question eight. What does Michael pretend to fire Pam over in season one of The Office? Okay, going on to question nine. Question 9. So who played Monk, the brilliant, obsessive-compulsive private detective? So question 9. What actor played Monk, the brilliant, obsessive-compulsive private detective? Question 10. Question 10. What is Sabrina's cat named on Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Question 10. What is Sabrina's cat's name on Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Okay, going on to question 11. The Seaver family, including Mike, Carol, and Ben, were on what show? Question 11. The Seaver family, including Mike, Carol, and Ben, were on what show? All right, last question for bonus. Question 12. What was the first Pokemon that Ash caught by throwing a ball? So we're doing animated Pokemon all the way back. Question 12. What was the first Pokemon that Ash caught by throwing a ball, a Pokemon ball? Do you have young kids or kids when they were in the 90s? All right, lovely. All right, let's see how we did. Time's up. Let's see those answers. Again, not for points, just for fun. All right, question 1. Radar's favorite soft drink was grape Nihi. I
Knee
don't
high.
know.
Yeah.
Nihi. Thank you. Question 1, grape Nihi. All right, lovely. Going on to question 2. Question 2, the name of the cab company on Taxi was Sunshine Cab Company. Question 2 was Sunshine Cab Company. Going on to question 3. So the name of the newspaper where Clark Kent worked was the Daily Planet, and it was located in the city of Metropolis. So question 3 was Daily Planet in Metropolis. All right, going on to question 4. Question 4, the two actors that played Samantha's husband in Bewitched, I love it that they have the same name, first name, was Dick York and then Dick Sargent. So question 4 was Dick York and Dick Sargent. I'm sure it made it easy to remember the name. All right, question 5. The name of the real Boston bar that Cheers was based on was the Bull and Finch. Question 5 was the Bull and Finch. Question 6. It cooperates. There we go. Question 6. On Green Acres, Oliver had to climb a telephone pole in order to make a phone call. Question 6 was climb the telephone pole. All right, going on to question 7. So question 7, on I Dream of Jeannie, Tony and Roger worked at NASA. So question 7 is NASA. Okay, going on to question 8. Michael pretends to fire Pam over stealing Post-it notes on season 1 of The Office. Question 8 was stealing Post-it notes. She was so upset. All right, question 9. Tony Shalhoub played Monk, the brilliant, obsessive, compulsive private detective. So question 9 was Tony Shalhoub. All right, question 10. Sabrina's cat's name on Sabrina the Teenage Witch was Salem. Question 10 was Salem. He was such a sassy cat. All right, almost there. Question 11. The Seaver family, including Mike, Carol, and Ben, were on the show Growing Pains. So question 11 was Growing Pains. All right, last one here. So the first Pokemon that Ash caught by throwing a Pokeball was Caterpie. Question 12 was Caterpie. Real old school. All right. Lovely. So that was the end of our bonus round. Again, the maximum points that you can get is 71. Again, there's the link. Chat's in the link. The link is in that chat too. But again, if something's not working, you're always welcome to send it directly to Jeanette or to me through the chat. with your name, how many people you were playing with, your score, and your email. Or you can just go to the chat and fill that all out in a very nice form. So with that in mind, thank you all for being here. And we just want to let you know we do this every couple months, and so the next one is going to be at the end of March, Friday, March 28th, same time. And this time we're going to do musical theater. So, we're on a big Wicked thing, or you've enjoyed Hamilton or any other musicals lately. So we're going to have a whole bunch of trivia about musical theater. Anything else you want to add, Jeanette?
Yeah, musical theater. We're going to have some older ones too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The ones I like,
For
of
me,
course,
like
but
the old person. But it's going to be musical theater on the stage and on the screen. So
a little bit of everything.
and on the stage. So hope you had fun tonight and hope to see you on March 28th. Thanks for
Wonderful.
joining us.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.